Okay, here's a weird one for you. What does a high-end smartphone have to do with a giant, 144-yard trailer packed with wood waste? I know, it sounds like the setup for a really strange joke, right? You've got this sleek little device in one hand and then the gritty, messy reality of industrial garbage in the other. But what if I told you they're connected in a way that's about to change an entire industry?
Because that's exactly what we're going to unpack. This is the story of what's being called the Smartphone Refinery. It's about how one of the most advanced gadgets you can buy is becoming the unexpected brain behind a system designed to solve a huge industrial crisis.
And our story doesn't start in some shiny Silicon Valley lab. No, it starts in the industrial heartland of Ontario, Canada. And they are staring down the barrel of a logistical nightmare that people on the inside are calling the waste cliff.
And this timeline, well, it shows a perfect storm just brewing on the horizon. It all kicks off in 2026 when cities stop collecting industrial waste. At the exact same time, new trade tariffs could block millions of tons of waste from being exported. Just 3 years after that, a new law makes it illegal to just dump clean wood in a landfill. And the final nail in the coffin? By 2034, they expect to be completely out of landfill space, period. For the construction industry, this isn't just a problem, it's a full-blown existential threat.
But, crisis forces people to get creative. And this quote just perfectly captures the radical new way of thinking that was needed. One man's trash is another man's database. The solution wasn't about finding a bigger hole to dump things in. It was about transforming waste from a problem into a valuable data asset. And this is that solution in action, the 95 WOOD Digital Refinery. Now, don't picture a physical building with smokestacks. This is a software platform. They call it a sentient bridge. And what it does is connect two totally different worlds. On one side, you have the chaotic, messy reality of construction waste. On the other, the super precise, high-purity needs of the biocarbon market. This platform is the intelligent link right in the middle. So how's it work? Well, the whole refinery runs on 5 digital layers. It starts with AI right there at the pickup site, sorting the waste. Then it figures out the smartest, most efficient logistics. After that, it automates all the mind-numbing regulatory paperwork, handles the money side of things, and finally, it pulls all that data together for reporting. It's basically a complete digital nervous system for industrial waste.
Okay, so you're still wondering, where does the smartphone fit in? Let's switch gears and talk about the other side of the story, Google's flagship phone and its totally different AI-first way of doing things.
First things first, you have to stop thinking of the Pixel 10 Pro as just a phone. Its entire design, from its custom Tensor G5 chip all the way to its software, this thing called the Light RST framework, it's all purpose-built for one single thing, running powerful AI models right there on the device, with no need for the cloud. This chart gives you a little peek under the hood at what makes this phone an absolute AI powerhouse. See that NPU? That's a neural processing unit. Think of it like a special brain just for AI, and it's up to 100 times more efficient at AI tasks than the main processor. The graphics chip, the GPU, it's been supercharged for this stuff too. And then you have these clever software tricks, like zero-copy buffers, that create a direct highway for data inside the chip, which cuts down on lag and saves a ton of battery. Seriously, this isn't just a small improvement, it's a massive leap for on-device AI.
But all that power creates a new problem, memory. How in the world do you fit a massive, hungry AI model into the tiny bit of RAM on a smartphone? Well, this is where Google's real genius comes into play.
So let's talk for a second about something called the KV cache. The easiest way to think of it is as the AI's short-term memory, or its scratchpad. The more work the AI does, the bigger this scratchpad gets. Now, on a huge server in a data center, that's no big deal. But on a phone, it eats up all your memory and makes the whole system grind to a halt or even crash. This memory tax has been the biggest roadblock for powerful AI on our phones.
Google's solution is this incredibly smart algorithm called TurboQuant. It's a two-step trick. First, a technique called polar quant basically organizes the AI's messy memory, making it all neat and uniform so it's much easier to compress. Think of it like neatly folding all your clothes before you pack your suitcase. Then, a second part acts like a mathematical spell checker, using just a tiny bit of extra data to clean up any little errors from the compression. It's just really elegant.
And what's the result of this elegant process? Well, it reduces the AI's memory needs by 6 times. 6! That isn't just an improvement, that's a total game changer for AI on your phone.
But here's the kicker, the absolute magic of it. This huge 6x compression happens with, get this, zero loss in the AI's accuracy. It gets 6 times smaller without getting any dumber. That is the breakthrough.
Okay, so we've got an industrial crisis over in Ontario and a massive AI breakthrough in Silicon Valley. Now, let's finally connect the dots.
This quote from the project's own documents just says it all. The phone acts as an edge inference server for a full 8-hour shift without thermal throttling, which is just a fancy way of saying it doesn't overheat and slow down. In this system, the Pixel isn't treated like a phone. It's a rugged, all-day AI server that just happens to fit in a pocket.
So what makes this phone the perfect brain for this whole operation? It's this unique mix of features. It's designed to work totally offline, which is critical on construction sites where you can't get a signal. Android can even force critical safety alerts to pop up, even if the phone's on Do Not Disturb. All that special software is optimized for the hardware. And then, the final piece, TurboQuant. That's what makes it possible to run a massive AI model like Gemini 3.1 Pro to analyze wood waste right there in a worker's hand.
The project's own motto just sums it all up perfectly. Hamilton Grit meets Silicon Valley. It's the perfect marriage of a tough, real-world industrial problem and the most advanced consumer tech on the planet.
And this all brings us to the bigger picture. Because this isn't just a story about one company and one phone. It's really a glimpse into the future of artificial intelligence out here in the physical world.
And you've got to understand, this 905 Wood project, it's not just a one-off. It's a blueprint. That whole sentient bridge idea can be used in so many other industries: agriculture, manufacturing, shipping, you name it. It's how you can secure leadership in this new global circular bioeconomy.
This slide really shows the shift. The old way of doing AI was you'd send your data to the cloud. It was slow. You had to be connected to the internet, and there were always data privacy worries. The new way, Edge AI, does all the thinking right on the device. It's fast, it works anywhere, and your data stays local.
So this leaves us with a final, pretty fascinating thought. We just saw how a technology that was designed for better selfies and smarter text messages got repurposed to solve a multi-billion-dollar industrial crisis. It just proves that the supercomputer we all carry around in our pockets is capable of so much more than we give it credit for. Which has to make you wonder, if your phone can refine industrial waste, what impossible problem is it going to solve next?